Well, welcome along everyone to Sonoma for the Sonoma 130 in the beautiful Northern California region. Today we have 12 extremely talented drivers ready to duke it out in the hills of the South Bay area. Our starting lineup is going to be Dawson, Jacob, IDK Scrizzle, Jaden Barnes, Wooly Mixer, JDMX Culture, Exiv, Fan, JDMX Hawk, King Wade, The Ring Wraith, and Back in Black. At this time, I'd like to welcome along our co-host, which will be JW Reno.
How's it going, folks?
So, Reno, I know it's going to be a very tough race, especially with Azwar being not here today due to his penalty. How do you think that's going to really change the playoff order? Azwar, I think you're No, Azwar, you got one race suspension, bud, and you're so. No, as a suspended driver, you're not allowed to be in the lobby at all during the race. So you. Okay. Yep. I'm gonna ask you to leave at this point, please. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about the profane language there. At this time, Joe, I'd like to ask you, how do you think Azwar's suspension is going to play into the playoff picture today?
Well, it should be a bit interesting. It's going to leave a bit of a hole open. There's going to be a 0 in the column for Azwar. So it's going to leave a bunch of opportunities open for, somebody like Random Shy. Is Random Shy racing tonight? I didn't hear.
I don't think he is. Kind of sad because if he raced tonight, he'd have enough points to actually push Azwar out of the chase. So I'm surprised that he's not here tonight, but at this point, Azwar is looking quite keen without Random Shy being here tonight.
Yes, indeed.
So once again, folks, yeah, Wade is looking quite handy, currently the points leader with plus 30 to the cutoff line. Dawson, not that far off, plus 28. Hawk and Azwar both tied, plus 12. Fan is plus 11. Exiv plus 9, and Random Shy is 9 behind, while CR7 is minus 40 behind. So it's very key that CR should try to take advantage of this big error that Azwar's team has made. Currently loading into the race. So we load in, and there's the grid order, and they are about to start rolling any second. Once again, folks, they will be told to roll off the grid, and then will at that point line up 2 by 2, and Fan, our race director, will give them a timing on the timer, and they will be allowed to go ahead and jump off the grid. You see Jaden, not accustomed to this new strategy, as we are currently on board with Dawson, getting ready to lead off this race in the Sunny D, bright colored Sunny D 31 car.
Couple of guys that I would expect to show up tonight that I think will be key factors are guys like Jacob or Jaden Barnes. Those kinds of guys who are very accustomed to the road courses, like Wooly, who's got a win in the Cougars as well. So some of those guys should be doing well tonight, I would imagine. They know how to outbrake some of these guys, and they know their spots.
Absolutely, man. We've seen Wraith has been extremely fast, especially the past couple of races. He hasn't had the best luck, but Wraith has shown that he has the speed, and so has Wooly. And I think an underdog win would not be surprising at all tonight, especially with some of the guys here that Not necessarily a race, and green flag is out in the air here as we get into the S. And Exiv, major damage already, and we see a major pileup already as Exiv got absolutely sent by someone. I'm sure that'll be a very early race caution as Dawson dropped 6 spots off the restart.
Just
very
like that,
sure
Wraith.
that Tempers, absolutely, yeah. Wraith jumps out, and I'm very surprised how aggressive these guys are. I mean, we're on lap 1 of 65, and caution has been called out.
Wow.
To those who are just joining us, we have incurred our first caution. A couple turns in as Exiv got sent into a tire barrier. The name of the game, of course, is survival. Who can make it through all these wrecks? Dawson, our pole sitter, currently in 8th place, had to pit because of all that damage. So truly, at the end of the day, it really is who can make it out alive. As Ring Wraith, one of the dark horses tonight, I mean, has great speed, but isn't currently in the bid at all to make the championship. But currently leader, as we see our first caution fall quite early in the race.
A couple of guys up front already. Positions got swapped quite a bit there. We were talking about Wraith there before the race started, how he's been lacking a bit of speed, and just like that, he's out in front.
Absolutely. I'm sure he heard us and is like, I'm going to prove y'all wrong today, so yeah. As we're currently waiting on a couple of drivers to catch up, I believe. Who is that? All the way back in the pit straight. That's going to be Back in Black. Very unlucky. Qualified, plumb last, and has to already pit. Not the way he wanted to start off his night, but sometimes, Joe, as you know, that's just the way it rolls. You just get a little bit unlucky with the way the cautions fall, and you find yourself way in the back. So
looks like they're checking up a bit here to let Back in Black catch up.
yeah,
It's a long way around this circuit.
absolutely. I'm sure it's agonizing for these guys that want to get started. They're all ready. They've waited an extra hour to get this race started, and here they are. Caution falls within a couple hundred yards, and it's agonizing to wait for Back in Black to catch up as he finally does get to the back of the pack, and I'm sure he'll get started within a couple more seconds here coming out of the hairpin. And green flags back in the air out here in Sonoma. Wraith gets a really good start. Able to keep Wade right behind him as he goes up the hill. Gets a really good jump. He's able to get a couple car lengths between him and Wade as a lot of too wide racing behind them.
Top 3 is already breaking away a little bit. Those are some of the guys that we would expect off course a little bit there, but Wraith and Wooly, a couple of those guys that we mentioned there before the race started, are 1-2 right now.
Absolutely. I mean, Wooly, man, the young man's been phenomenal at the road courses the past couple weeks, as we saw in the Cougars especially. He definitely has a knack for these road courses, and he's definitely showing it early into this race.
Wraith is just so good at outbraking and knowing where to run on this track and on road courses in general. Not to
very smooth.
Yeah, not to bash Wooly, of course, but Wraith has just got a lot of experience.
Absolutely. Experience is truly key in a league where you got so many experienced drivers such as Exiv who are on board with currently, and Wade, these guys have been in the league for countless seasons at this point, countless victories, championships. Like, sometimes it's very daunting to race against these guys, but truly it's quite phenomenal that someone as young as Wooly is able to really put on a fight against these guys. As we see, Wade's going to go off the track again, allowing Exif to close on his bumper.
Yeah, Wade seems to be struggling a little bit going into that quick right-hander. He's gone off track a couple of times there. I think he's just trying to push the car a bit too much. Needs to wait on that, get those tires heated back up, and get back up there with those guys.
Absolutely. As we see Wade go extremely wide in the S's there, he's going to drop position to Exif and might lose another one to Dawson. As Dawson is charging back to the field after that early caution, and he does get back past Wade. As Wade is really struggling off the initial start of the race.
Tell you what, that 99, he's pretty quick.
That's very true. Yeah, he's putting the pressure on right now.
Wraith is pretty good out of the hairpin, but it looks like everywhere else, Wooly was right there. He's being pretty patient. Very commendable. He's grown quite a bit this season so far as a racer in general.
Absolutely. Currently on board with Wooly Mixer. Currently about challenging Wraith for the lead very early on in the race. As we know from the Cougars, if Wooly gets the lead, he's able to really gap the field quite easily. So I'm sure Wraith has that in the back of his mind and is thinking, what can I do to keep Wooly behind me? As Wooly gets just a little loose coming out of the right-hander into the S's.
Wondering if Van and Jade Barnes had a bit of an issue. They're quite off the pace. It doesn't appear that they have any damage, but they're way in the back.
Yeah, they might have, yeah, absolutely. I think one of the quietest people this week is going to be Exif. Like, a lot of the time, Exif is one of those top drivers to hit the ovals, but a lot of the time, he's overlooked when it comes to these road courses. And truly, Exif should never be counted out, as we currently see him in third place.
Wooly's doing a good job at saving his tires right now. I think Wraith is spinning them pretty good going into turn 1A and B. But Wooly, he's not spinning the tires quite as much, so I think maybe that'll help him out in the long run, because tires are very important at these road courses.
Absolutely. As we see, Exif is going to try to run the outside on Wooly, but is not able to get there in time. I definitely feel like Wooly is taking a little bit easier on his tires right now, as he is somewhat backing the field up as Exif and Dawson both get close to his back bumper.
Coming into this, it was a bit of a surprise to me to see Dawson qualify on the pole like that. You know, very good oval racer. He's very good at Indianapolis especially, and very impressive to see him on the pole here for Sonoma. And he's hanging in there so far, even after that little toss-up there at the beginning.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ooh, Wooly really loose there through the S's.
Yeah.
Seems a little shaky, Wooly does now. Maybe he saved him up a bit too much, and I think Wraith's tires may be a bit warmer, because temperature is another thing that's also pretty important here at these road courses.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Exif's getting a little impatient right here. He's trying to give the Wooly the signal to get going right now, because with the bumper to him, I think Exif really wants to be able to challenge Wraith for that lead. As you see, Wooly goes a little bit off track there. Exif gonna muscle his way past Wooly. Gonna try to at least. As we see, Dawson goes three wide going into the hairpin. I think Wooly very smartly just backed out of it. It's like, you guys take it as Dawson. Great move as he takes two positions, and Exif absolutely overshoots the hairpin there and loses two keen positions there.
Dawson, pole sitter, moving into second. Dawson obviously has good speed. I just don't know if he's got the speed right now to contend with Wraith, but of course he did qualify on the pole for a reason.
Absolutely. And I think Exiv's going to take another stab at Wooly here, going into the S's 2x2 once again. Wooly's just going to have the preferred line there. He's able to stay ahead of Exiv, but here comes Wade, also challenging for that third position. And Wooly goes extremely wide, gets to the wall. Oh, major damage for Wooly as he goes extremely wide there in the second to last turn, and I'm assuming that would be a caution. Poor Wooly, who's doing extremely well there, just got... Yeah, there was a little bit of contact between those guys, and caution has been called out once more. As you see, the leaders have all coordinated up once again. Currently on board with our leader, Wraith, as he had quite a decent gap. 2nd place as everyone was squabbling for position. And Wooly, the biggest loser there, was put in the wall, went a little wide, got in the wall. A lot of damage for the poor kid, but...
Got good speed.
Very surprising. Yeah, got good speed. I'm sure we'll see him sooner or later catch right back up.
That 55 though right now is phenomenal.
Yes, absolutely. Wraith with beautiful silver and black paint scheme, and it's got the speed. Shows that he has the speed to win. It's been a while for Wraith to win, but maybe he's really thinking this is his race to lose at this point. He's quite a commanding lead already. He's led every lap of the race so far. But as you did say, Joe, Dawson is caught right back up. And I think we're about to see a fight for the lead soon, as everyone has caught up, and we are getting ready to go back to green here at Sonoma.
You know, one guy that I expect to make a charge here is that 7 car of Jacob. It's usually pretty good on these circuits, and it's been a bit quiet. He got caught up in that scuffle there at the beginning. I think it's only a matter of time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Jacob, quite strong racer. It's just a matter of time before he finds himself in victory lane, one of these road courses. As green flags back in the air here in Sonoma, Wraith gets a great jump, is able to keep the lead quite handily going into the first turn, as Dawson is being pressured right now by Exiv.
We got a couple cars off track.
Yeah. It seems to me that Jacob and Fan, a little bit of dust up there. Not sure what happened between those two, but they have fallen quite a decent way back from the rest of the leaders, as Wraith goes extremely wide there before the S's and allows Dawson to get side by side here. Dawson challenging for that lead right now, as he wants to make a statement win here and take the lead here in the championship standings. But Wraith quite able to hold him off, come through the S's, and starts to gap them once more, as Dawson's once again under attack from Exiv. And at the end of the day, that's what Wraith wants to see. The more they fight, the better for him. He's able to quietly tiptoe away, and these guys are squabbling. The left behind is dust, just squabbling for position.
Dawson's pretty good through turn 1A and B. Wraith pulls away just a smidge though in 2A and 2B.
Yep, I think it's going to be a game of cat and mouse up here in the front for sure. These guys are so competitive up here, and their lap times are almost identical most of the time. So it's going to be a very tight race to see. It'll probably come to the last lap or two to see who wins.
Boy, Wade got so sideways there in that quick right-hander. I thought he was around.
But it does seem like the top three have opened up a decent margin between them and the rest of the field. What do you think, Joe? Do you want to go through the field real fast?
Sure. Let's do it.
So starting off with Ring Wraith, we got Wraith out here. Qualified. I believe he qualified quite down, actually. He did qualify all the way back in 11th place, but boy, has he made up some strides. Already taking the lead, has led every lap of this race due to some great luck. And right behind him, we have Dawson, our pole sitter, after a very early race incident, found himself well back in the field, well behind the 8th and 9th place around there, and has found himself in a really good position right now.
Yeah, Dawson showing really good speed this weekend. Maybe not something that a lot of these guys might have expected out of that 31, but he's looking mighty quick, and he should be around at the end.
Absolutely. Looking at Exit, probably one of the quieter road course racers we have. Always finds himself toward the front of these races, no matter where he starts, and definitely showing why he is a former champion and why he deserves to be champion once more.
Yeah, Exiv's one of those guys at road courses, like you were saying, that's a bit quiet. He hangs around the front. And Road America last season, that was a perfect example, as it looks like we have a caution out.
Yes, it does. Not completely sure why. Let's go ahead and look to see. And I believe it seems like Back in Black has found himself this type of issue, as he is well behind the field, all the way back at the start-finish line. But yeah, it's been a struggle for Back in Black today.
Oh, it's JDMX culture. That car is not quite right.
Oh yeah, I think maybe Fan and Culture got into something there, but boy, what a disappointing day for both of those guys. I mean, Fan looking to have a statement race tonight as he continues his bid to make the playoffs. But I think Dawson right now is looking quite handy, as currently as they run, he is first in the championship points. And Wade is not that far back, just only 4 points behind Dawson in the current live championship points. But the biggest question is, can JDMX Culture, can he make up some ground that he needs to make up? We know that it's well known that Azuar has been suspended for one race due to the tire grip scandal with the spray they found on his tires, which increased the grip. And I think it's going to be quite a challenge for the young man to make sure he makes the playoffs, and if he does, it'll be by the skin of his teeth, as we said earlier today. But can JDMX Culture take this as an advantage for him to make the playoffs? He's looked quite handy here. He has a win this season, but just hasn't been able to not been able to string together the performances needed to make the playoffs. So I think this is his chance to really make up some position on Random Shot and Azuar, who are both not here. I think Random Shot did have some technical issues with his vehicle, so he was not able to qualify nor race today. So it'll be very interesting to see how the playoff standings look after this race.
Yeah, you were just talking about Azuar not being able to race tonight, and how that's going to create some problems potentially in the playoff standings. You know, not only is that going to hurt him, unfortunately it's going to hurt his teammate Skrizzle, who's currently running second, having a quiet night so far, but running up there nonetheless. You know, they're not able to share strategy the same way that they were before. They can't make adjustments within the race. You know, Skrizzle's just kind of out there on his own tonight, which is unfortunate, but he gets his teammate back next week, and you know, we should see some better results out of the two of them. But right now, you know, Skrizzle, he's doing well for himself.
Absolutely. As we've seen before, even at in the Cougars at Laguna Seca, Skriz was doing quite well for himself there, but it's gonna be tough for him because, you know, we've seen Wraith has absolute lightning speed here, and as we see, Wooly Mixer has made himself back up all the way through the field. Currently finds himself in 3rd place.
Jaden Barnes, Jacob, they're all back up there. These are some of the guys I think that we're gonna get accompanied to seeing up front here tonight.
Absolutely, as we are getting ready to go to green here. And green flags back out in the air here in Sonoma. As Wraith once again gets a very good restart, but not as good did he before, because we see Skrizzle is able to stick well with him, but we're going to see Wraith's lightning speed as he really excels through these couple corners here, especially through corners 7, 8, 8, 8, and 9.
And Wraith has that thing sideways. He can still keep a big gap on him. Skriz is hanging tough though in second.
Really is, but I think he will soon find the pressure of Wooly on his bumper. We know Wooly really wants to get a win here in the Cup Series levels, and it showed that he does have the speed for it. So can he break through today? This Wraith absolutely sideways coming out of the penultimate corner.
Wooly's got a really wide entry into 11. It's wider than I've seen anybody else go tonight.
Absolutely, but his drive off is fantastic, and I think that really helps him, especially coming up out of turn 12 and getting into turn 1, going up the hill. That really helps him carry the speed off. But as we are seeing, Wraith quite handily has taken a very commanding lead here, and unless, because we've seen that Wraith, when unchecked, truly just dominates these races, and unless he has maybe Dawson or Exit with those guys who can put a little more pressure on him, I think he will get away scot-free tonight.
Looks like Wooly's finally gotten around Skriz. Maybe? Nope, not quite.
Oh,
he's all over him.
But this is what Wraith wants. As he sees these guys fighting in his mirror, he's gonna be pulling away ever so slightly every lap.
Here he goes, Wooly into second and pulling away from Skriz.
Skriz gonna try to fight back out of the hairpin, but just can't.
Fourth place now. They got quite a bit of guys back here. A bit of a hornet's nest, if you will.
Oh yeah, for sure. Gonna go on board with Jacob here, running the number 7 SD graphics card. As we see Dawson goes off track a little bit, has to really correct it. And absolutely, like you said, Joe, it's a hornet's nest back here. A lot of cars, a lot of great drivers we see back here after the last caution who had caught up by the pit stops. So it's going to be interesting to see how fast these guys can get back up to the front and really contest, because Wraith truly is, at this rate, he'll be in a different zip code by the end of this race.
Got a couple of our championship contenders back here, 10th and 11th. Fan and CR7 or JDMX Culture. Looks like they're not having the best night.
Yep.
They're just looking to finish this thing out at this point. Maybe have a few lucky breaks there at the end of the race.
Absolutely. A lot of time, as you know, Joe, a lot of time you get some great finishing positions due to late race restarts and wrecks and all that, so never hurts to make sure you're in touch with the guys in front of you.
Looking at Jacob here, looks like he's pushing his car quite a bit right now. I know he's definitely got the speed. He's wanting to get back up there and contend with some of them guys, but it just looks like he's pushing it a bit too hard right now because he's hopping quite a bit of curbs and sliding.
Yep, I think he truly is struggling a little bit because I don't know if you recall, but he missed the first practice earlier today, so I think having the lack of practice really hurt him, especially in qualifying. Just wasn't able to get his usual performance out, but oh, it seems like Hawk has absolutely clobbered the tire barrier in the hairpin.
He hit the tire barrier, so he might be alright.
Yeah, on board with Hawk right now as caution has been called out as the camera was focusing on him. He just absolutely went in, killed the tires in. I'm sure Wraith is like, you have got to be kidding me. But as we see Dawson back to third place already, Wooldie at the catbird seat right now in second place. Really a lot of under pressure right now because he's got to make sure that he keeps it clean with some of these playoff guys as they get closer to the playoff. Just wants to make sure he doesn't ruin anyone's night out here. Thank you so much, Swaggy D, for the follow. As we see JDMX Hawks still coming out of turn 7 right now. Still has to catch up to the field, and we're going to see if anyone decides to pit right now. I know last time by we saw a lot of guys pit. I think one of the biggest things here at these road courses is tire wear can really hurt someone's race, as we see a couple guys do pit.
Strategy in this is going to be a bit all over the place for the most part. Probably going to see some two-stoppers or three-stop kinds of strategies going on. Guys like Fan and CR back there, you know, you're going to see a lot of them. You can see the guys like them in Back in Black. They're going to try to pull off the two-stop type of strategy.
I think it's very important, you know, to save as much time. But the thing is, as you say that though, if you're that far back, it never hurts to truly go get a fresh set of tires on. Get a fresh. And it really does help. Like even 5-6 laps, they start to feel it. So if you're in the back of the pack, it really never hurts to pit. But the question is are you losing time though in the pits? Because every time you do pit, you're losing quite a bit of position. So the question really is, it's down to when Wraith, Wooly, and Dawson, like those guys up front, when they are going to pit. Because as we did see, we had Wade and some of the other guys who've been competing for 5th place around there, they pit. So does that mean they'll be able to charge the field faster? And I'm sure a lot of these competitors will take notice when they do have fresher tires.
Wraith is absolutely on rails. I'm sure he's gonna try to stretch it as long as he can. Try to stay out of all the chaos and the traffic in the back.
Yep. I think that's one of the biggest things about being up front is you really are able to stay out in front. As long as you're able to stay out in front, you're able to really kind of dictate the way the race goes, and you know, the longer you stay out front, it really helps to make sure that you don't get in any trouble. And as long as you stay out of trouble, you'll be a-okay for this race, as everyone is caught up and we're going to go back to green here in Sonoma. And green flags back out in there. And Wraith, very characteristic of Wraith, gets quite a good restart, but Fan, oh my god, very wide there coming out of the hill as we see a lot of smoke, and there goes. I think that's Fan, no? I believe so, yeah. That is going to be Fan and Exiv, and oh boy, those two don't always get along on the track, but yeah, I saw him. He was very, I think he just missed his braking point up the hill or something. He absolutely just destroyed Exiv, I believe, but it seems those two have gotten back into the throttle. And Wraith already showing almost a whole second lead. As Wooly goes, once again, goes very wide coming out of turn 10, going into 11, as Dawson's able to capitalize on that and takes back second after having to pit. As Hawk and Hawk goes too wide there, coming out of the hairpin.
Dawson got around Wooly for second. He is closing on Wraith a little bit. Wraith, though, just...
I think Dawson did pit a little earlier, so I think those fresh tires are starting to kick in a little bit, but I'm sure Wraith is not thinking about that at all. I'm sure he's just worried about how to run his race and continue to put down those stellar lap times.
Jacob, Skrizzle, and I can't quite tell who else that is in there. All three of those guys were all side by side at one point. That looks like Hawk. Hawk's gonna be a man on a mission with all that damage that he took.
Absolutely, as we're going back on board with Hawk here. I think definitely this season's been a little bit quieter for Hawk. Well, I know last season there's a lot of controversy with him pushing Exiv to a lot of wins and not being more aggressive, especially Exiv being his team owner back then. So I think this year has really been a quieter year in that regard, but he's definitely showed that he does have the speed and the capability to win, and shown, especially last week, why he deserves to be a champion.
I know we've brought him up a couple of times, but Jaden Barnes, good to see him back out on the track again. It's been a long while since he's been out here racing with these guys. Hawk made a really aggressive move on there, and Skrizzle, I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, I mean, Hawk is on a mission, like you said. He really wants to get another win, especially after chasing this victory Champagne last week. I'm sure he wants to keep that momentum going, as we did cover in the pre-race broadcast, momentum is everything, especially in this chase format where you got to be consistent every week to make sure that you're there when it comes to Homestead in the last race.
Barnes got a little wide there. Jacob just took advantage of that there. Oh boy, they're racing hard.
Absolutely, these guys really want to get back up there, but the more they race themselves, the further away we see Wraith just slowly pull away.
You know, speaking of Wraith, looks like Dawson, our pole sitter's up there. He's keeping him in check. He's not too terribly far behind. About a second and a couple tenths.
Absolutely, I think that's going to be important though, because as we see the race continue on, we got to see who's able to keep their mind nice and sharp as it gets later into the night. And I've seen that Wraith sometimes just gets a little bit flustered, especially when some things don't go his way. So I think he usually keeps his emotions in check and really stay focused as we get further and further into this race.
You know, those new tires like you were talking about, those look like they might be kicking in a little bit too. He's really reeling him in there though on some of those heavier braking zones, and probably getting close to being that time for Wraith to come on down pit road.
Absolutely, but I think Wraith, I was talking to Wraith a little bit earlier before the race started. He's really wants to try to do one-stop race, which is really tight. I don't think it's possible, but I believe he believes that he can do it, so I think he's really looking to hit that lap 32, 33 window. But the question is, how long can you stay on those old tires? They're just so worn, very little grip. And Dawson on his bumper going up the hill, as we see Wraith gets a little loose there, just shows the age of those tires. And Dawson really putting the pressure on at this point. And truly, once the second Wraith gets passed for the lead, he should just go ahead and pit, because he'll be losing time to Dawson there, as Dawson wants to go too wide going to turn 5 there.
It's to make that happen.
Yeah, very nice of Wraith, because Wraith could just pinched him into a wall there. You see Dawson goes a little wide in turn 7, going into 8A. But those guys have really gapped themselves back to Woolley. There's almost, looking at the time gap, Woolley's almost a whole 5 seconds behind these guys. So these guys are not worried at all behind what's behind them. As you see, they're just pulling away quite easily right now.
Last time around, Dawson ended up running the fastest lap of the race, so he has definitely caught some fire there in that 31 with those new tires.
Absolutely, showing why he deserves to be in the chase, why he deserves to be the championship leader, in fact. I think Wraith truly is starting to feel the age of those tires now, and I really was a little skeptical when he said he wants to try to do a one-stop race, but I think at this point, here comes Dawson on the inside. Not going to be able to get there, but literally on his bumper there.
Right here in 7.
So Wraith tries to turn in a little earlier, but
Wraith took a defensive line there. That was good if he wants to keep hanging on to that. He's not doing bad, though.
Yeah. I think Wraith truly is able to just get the power down those S's and able to pull away just a little bit. But then Dawson, the rest of the track is able, the rest of the lap is really able to reel him in. But Wraith just mastered those S's, just so smooth, so controlled, is able just to really hold him off there.
He's doing well. Dawson must have slipped up a tad in the passes, but He's definitely putting the pressure on. He's just got to keep working him over. You know, he's absolutely outbraking him a lot more in the heavier braking zones with, you know, the fresher tires.
Like you said, Joe, yeah. Dawson definitely is able to get the power down just a little bit earlier with those fresher tires. But the thing is Dawson's got to be thinking, man, what do I have to do to get past you, bud? Like, the longer Dawson gets held up behind him, the more he's going to struggle with those tires. And after a point, those tires will sooner or later start to equalize. So I think Dawson really wants to get past him. As we see, I believe we are catching some lapped cars at this point. They're not there yet, but they're getting close to catching, I believe that is Fan going into turn 3 right now, but I'm sure he will let those guys by sooner or later. You see Dawson and Wraith very loose as they go into turn 5 and 6. Dawson, he's right there. He's very courteous to Dawson right now because he could easily just put the bumper to the back of Wraith and just move him. But I think that's one of the biggest things that defines Dawson. Very clean, very respected driver in the garage area.
That O'Reilly turn, he's pretty good in, but he just, I mean, Wraith he's taking a defensive line into there every time because he knows.
Absolutely, turn 7, yeah, Wraith he knows that that's a very important turn when it comes to entering the S's and setting up a pass there. So I think he's defending for all it's worth with those tires left. But we are getting closer and closer to the halfway point, and I think Wraith is starting to think, when can he pit to make the most time? As you see, Wooly's a whole 7 seconds back from this fight right now. These guys are absolutely in a different zip code of their own right now, as Dawson's able to get side by side with Wraith coming out of turn 5 there, or sorry, turn 6, as they go into turn 7 right now.
You just can't make that pass happen in turn 6. You gotta be patient and wait till 7.
Absolutely.
Oh, he got lucky there. He got a little loose.
He got loose. Oh, he's gonna lose it there. Yeah, almost side by side there. Very frustrating for Dawson because he knows he's faster with those tires, but he just can't get past him. As you see Fan in the view there is Fan. As they approach Fan, I'm sure he'll let them by, but once again, Dawson gonna dive in, and Wraith is gonna pit here. Dawson takes the lead here and has about a 7-second lead back to Wooly. And he has been dispatched on his own now. He's able to really put some fast lap times down, not be hindered by Wraith.
Two-car of Hawk moving through the field pretty well so far after that skirmish that he got into in turn 11.
Absolutely, yeah. You just see, I believe Exib is also pitted. So once again on board with our leader right now. It's going to be Dawson as he's catching Fan. Going to be the first car, or the last car in the lead lap, sorry. I'm sure he's going to defend for all his might, but Dawson just so much faster than him, especially those S's.
This should get interesting here. We got Fan in front of Dawson
our
here.
leader, yeah.
Fan most likely will want to keep that lap.
He's going to want to, but I don't think he physically can. Dawson, at least a second or two faster, more than a second or two, a couple seconds faster than him every lap. As we see, I think Fan's going to yield here coming up the hill. Oh, almost a little bit of contact between those two right there. As Dawson dispatches Fan, is able to get going once more. But I think it's very impressive to see that Dawson has has an 8.2-second lead back to Wooly, and truly, at the end of the day, that's really going to help him out because he doesn't have to worry about someone breathing down his neck the whole time. He can really just dictate his own pace, make sure he doesn't have to put any pressure on himself. I'm sure Wooly's trying to catch right now, but just does not have the ability to.
Wade's looking like he's got some decent speed tonight, like we anticipated at the beginning of the show.
Yes, he does. I definitely feel like, though, Wade was a little bit uncharacteristic of him. Just his overall speed, especially in practices, usually seems like Wade is up there, but just didn't seem to show that raw speed as he gets close to the back bumper of Wooly. Once again, Wade was one of the cars that did pit on the last caution, so this allows him, he has some very fresh tires, and I'm sure he wants to catch Wooly as soon as possible and get past him.
Let's see here where Wraith cycled out.
I believe he's in 9th place right now.
It looks like he just got around. Just moved into 8th, it looks like.
Yep, he does seem like he is struggling just a little bit behind some traffic right now, but there's not a lot of battles going on right now, which is a little surprising. As we see, there are a couple small fights going on. Let's just check out how Wraith is doing. Currently in 8th place, just was able to get past.
CR.
JD makes culture. Yep. And I mean, yeah, until, like, other than the battle for 2nd place right now, it seems like everyone is mostly gapped out and kind of started running their own race at this point, as Wade's going to put the bumper to the back of Wooly there. A lot of contact between those two. Wooly sideways coming out of turn 7. They're going to 8 and 8A, and Wade's going to get past him. I think Wade just ran out of patience there. And understandably so, because he is a playoff driver and wants to try to catch Dawson, who currently, as they are running right now, Dawson has taken the lead from Wade in the championship standings.
Yeah, Wade looks like
is. Then go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say Wade, it looks like he might have just turned it up with the wear on the tires, and like you were going to say, Wooly's coming pit road.
Yeah, I think Wooly's decided that he's been on those tires for quite a long time and lets Wade go by. I don't know if he let Wade go by at that point. I think he just realized that he was losing a lot of time to the leader. As we do see, Wade is almost 9.5 seconds back from our leader at this point. So it's going to be an uphill battle for Wade to really claw up and see if he can try to put a fight to Wade, or put the fight to Wraith, sorry. Wade locks up a little bit going into turn 7. It seems we do have a battle for 10th place right now between Jaden Barnes and Back in Black.
Something
Barnes
must have happened to him.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely has not shown the speed this week in regards to his race pace, but definitely struggled a little bit more tonight. Very uncharacteristic of Jaden.
Yeah, he was up there with Akesev for a little while, so must have gotten out of the, must have overdid it in a corner or something like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it has been a while for Jaden, so I'm sure that plays a factor into him not racing for over a season. But I'm sure this is not the way he wanted to return back to PPRL, but still running a strong 10th place right now. But I'm sure he is looking in his mirror right now, and he's starting to see the leader only about 14 seconds back from him and making up quite a little bit of time. So Dawson's going to be catching some lap traffic very soon. I'm sure he's a little worried about that right now. So we'll see how that plays out into this fight for the win.
Looks like he's picking him up and putting him down. I know there's some pit stops in between, but he's gone up to 6th, it looks like.
Absolutely. He's made about 5 places from where he came out of the pits. I'm sure Wraith is right now driving his heart out, but he has to make sure that he conserves a little bit of tire, so when he does get some of the higher positions as he hangs it out coming out of turn 1 there, so does Fan. He just has to make sure that he has enough rubber to actually put a fight to Dawson or be able to defend against Dawson when Dawson does pit.
He's hopping curbs.
Oh yeah, he's airborne as Fan really is struggling a little bit behind him there.
Yeah, Fan's night just not going the way that he might have wanted it to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, running in the 12th spot. It's gonna hurt him in the standings a bit if the race were to end right now.
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, overall, it seems like the only person actually running in front of him in the championship is Exiv. So I'm sure Fan will drop down to 6th. Or sorry, Fan will stay in place because Exiv and Aswell would directly switch places there. But yeah, Fan is struggling quite a bit tonight. This Wraith really has gap culture. JDMX culture, which is not very surprising, but which the sheer speed of him gapping him is very surprising. As Wraith hangs it out coming into the S's. Just understands very well how to apex in the S's, which really help him. He's gonna catch a little bit of the dirt there, but very impressive driving from him tonight. As we go and focus on our leader, Dawson, absolutely stunning race right now. He's currently quite easily a whole 11 seconds ahead of King Wade right now. 20 seconds ahead of JDMX Hawk, who's in 3rd place. He's truly in a different zip code, but don't look too far ahead of him. But we do have quite a few lapped cars right now, as it seems like Back in Black has decided to pit, get out of the leader's way. But going into turn 1 and 2, we do see a couple of lapped cars, which I'm sure will play into the race right now, as we are experiencing. There we go. Oh, and Dawson has had engine failure, as he has lagged out of the race, I believe.
Oh no.
Wow, that's very unfortunate for the young man. He was doing so well. Very unfortunate for him there, as King Wade inherits the lead after the engine failure from Dawson. And boy, I'm sure Dawson will not be happy, as Dawson suddenly drops quite a few spots in the championship all of a sudden, just because of that. Heartbreaking for the young man, as absolutely dominating this race. But Wade should not look too far back, as Wraith is in 3rd place right now. Not that far. I mean, he's still 22 seconds back, but Wraith is catching. I'm sure Wade is right now looking in his mirrors. He won't be able to see him yet, but as Wraith does close the gap, he will have to start worrying about defending against him. Very unfortunate for Dawson as we have 15 to go at the line.
Now the question is where is Wade at on strategy? Because that is what's going to be key here. Because we know Hawk is most likely good to the end because of the incident that he had in 11 earlier on in the race. Wraith obviously making his way through the field. Ixiv, while he's been quick tonight, you know, I don't know if he has race-winning speed like maybe a Wade or a Wraith.
Absolutely, but as we are seeing, Ixiv is making just increments of time up on Wade, but seems to lose those increments here and there as Wade really hangs it out coming out of turn 7. But I agree with you, Joe. It does seem like Ixiv just does not have that pace that Wade and Wraith have had, especially. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Wraith has enough time with 14 laps to go at the line. See if he can catch Wade and Ixiv, and see if he can get past both of them.
Ixiv's pitting?
Yes, he has pit. That means Wraith is not going to be able to get some clean air, hopefully. So at this point, Wraith and Wade have no cars in between them, but Wade does have a 23.2 second lead. So it's going to be quite a task for Wraith to make up that much time, as Wraith truly is in a different zip code right now, as he is catching a lapped car, and that lapped car is going to be JDMX Culture. And I believe the caution has come out.
Yeah, Wade, we're going to expect him to pit here. He's got pretty worn tires, and he's got about 26% fuel left.
Yeah, so I think he is going to have to pit at this point. And it's almost a free stop from how far ahead he is. He won't lose much, if any, positions. But that must be heartbreaking for Dawson, who was very far ahead of the field. If you could maybe get an interview with Dawson, invite him to the party real fast, if we can chat to the young man real fast. As we do see, Wraith has decided to pit, but Ixiv has decided that, is that Wooly? No, Wooly's still far back, but it seems that Wraith and Wade have decided to pit, and Wooly Mixer will inherit the lead, I believe, coming out of turn 11 right now.
Alright, we'll see if we can get Dawson in here and chat with him, but it says that he's offline, so we will see.
Yeah. He might have already gone back to his motorhome and might be getting ready to leave the track already, but
oh my goodness.
Very understandable. Yeah. As you see, Ixiv decided not to pit, and here comes Wade out of the pits, and here also comes Wraith. So
that yellow flag's making Ixiv look like a genius right now.
Absolutely, pitted a couple laps ago, but he's in a great position right now. But my question is, does Wooly have the tires to fend off against these guys? As we know that Wraith, Wade have just recently pitted to make sure that, and then Ixiv pit a couple laps ago. So Wooly has not pit yet. He pit quite a long time ago. So does he have the tires to hold off these guys?
I'm looking at it here. He's definitely good to the end on fuel. Tires, they're not terrible. They're not in terrible shape right now.
I'm sure right now, Wooly, his heart must be beating out of his chest right now. Yet to get a Cup Series win here at PPRL. He's gotten very close in a couple attempts before, but this is probably the closest he's ever gotten. Currently leading the race, in fact, and looking very handy.
Like they're trying to let Fan get his lap back.
Yep, so we will probably pace another couple laps here. Just waiting. I believe Back in Black also has to get his lap back, unless he already has. Not completely sure. I think the scoring says, yeah, he's already gotten his lap back. As we see, Back in Black's gonna spin out on the, or almost spin out coming into turn 11. But I think, yeah, we'll have to go around one more time. Once again, still all those of us who are just joining us here on the stream, currently on lap 44 of 65. Wooly Mixer has inherited the lead after a late race caution, but he does have more worn tires compared to the top 4 or 5 guys who just pitted recently. So the question is, can Wooly get his maiden victory here in the PPRL Cup Series? Or will one of the regulars, Exiv, Wade, or Wraith, be able to bully him out of that position?
Restart here is going to be pretty chaotic, I'd say, amongst the top 4. You know, all 4 of them guys have had some of the best speed we've seen out of anybody tonight. You know, we're going to see an eager Wade here. We've seen Wade pushing that car to the limits at times during this race, hopping curbs and just hanging it out like you've been saying. And you know, going to be very interesting to see if somebody gets a little too excited or impatient here.
Absolutely. As we've seen, as you said, Wade very eager to get another win. And as you noted, he has already put the bumper to Wooly actually earlier in the race for 2nd position. So I'm sure he's not afraid to use that bumper of his to get the position. And I do believe that almost everyone has caught up at this point. Yeah, Fan is coming to the back of the pack, so I'm sure we'll get started here. And we'll have 11 laps to go when the green flag does come out. As we do get closer to the end of the race, to all of those who are new to PPRL, the caution cutoff will be enforced on lap 63 of 65. So be aware of that. And everyone is getting ready for the restart, coming here, 11 to go at the line. And green flags back out in the air here at Sonoma.
With Wooly and Exiv, they took off on that restart.
Absolutely. It's almost a jump start, but great starts from both those guys. I see Wade and Wraith right on the bumper of those. There's a lot of smoke from the tail end of the pack. Wooly. Very couple tiny corners there, but it seems like Exiv is putting a lot of pressure on him. Exiv very sideways there, coming out of turn 6, going into turn 7.
Little
It's a little bit of bumper there from Wooly. Yeah, no. As you see, Wraith is already dispatched of Wade and on the bumper of Exiv, so Wraith is going to be very aggressive here. There's nothing to lose at all. Not in the bid for the championship right now.
Oh, Wooly. Take it
Goes
easy,
to the
buddy.
grass a little bit. Yeah. You see, oh, Exiv's going to get a little wide as Wraith going to take him 2 too wide there going into turn 11, and Wraith has gotten exit. Almost gets Wooly. What a start from Wraith coming out of this. Coming out of turn 11. Gonna be right on the bumper of Wooly. Makes up 2 spots in 1 lap. Great start from Wraith.
20 to go.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I've been saying 11. 21, 20 to go, sorry. And as we see, Wraith going to be getting closer and closer to that bumper as there's a distinct gap between the top 4 and Wraith. Oh, sideways out of turn 5 there. Going to get to the grass, but not going to lose much time, if any at all. Some great racing here. And Wraith's going to try to get a little better drive off than Wooly going into the S's. Right on that bumper, as we've seen Wraith many times before, absolutely on rails here. This is where he makes a lot of his time on his opponents. But Wooly seems to be holding very strong on his own here. Gets a little bit of the dust there as Wraith goes a little bit wide, definitely pushing his car.
Wooly doing a good job of hanging Oh, he moved him a little bit.
Wooly gets a little loose, yeah. Wraith gonna try to take it too wide, but I think Wooly's gonna get a better drive off, and he does, yeah.
Doing a good job of holding him off.
And Wraith, oh, gonna put the bumper to Wooly there coming out of the hill, yeah. Wooly's able to defend once more. As the Exiv's coming back into the picture for the lead.
And see what we were talking about there before that restart, the top 4, they're all getting very excited here. Now it's go time with 19 to go.
Absolutely.
18 at the line.
Absolutely, as we see Wraith gonna get a little bit more bumper of Wooly. Oh, really rides the curb there. I think Wraith really wants to just get past Wooly and start to gap the field at this point. Very eager to. But he has to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes, because if he does make a mistake, Exiv and Wade are waiting literally a couple of car lengths behind him. So he's got to make sure that he doesn't make any mistakes, because he'll regret it sooner or later if he does. As he's going to try to dive under, but just can't. And Wooly goes extremely wide.
Everybody got through.
Yeah, here comes Wraith. He might get the lead off, but no, I think Wooly's going to get the better drive. As Wooly's able to defend once again.
Top 4, everybody there outbroke turn 11. Oh, Wooly got through. A little loose there.
Oh, and contact 3 wide. Active takes the lead. That's what I said right there. One mistake, and Wraith now finds himself back in 3rd place because of Wooly's mistake there. I'm sure he's not happy with that, but as we've seen, Exiv, the sleeper when it comes to the circuit races, currently in the lead all of a sudden.
Wraith up there, Wooly's going to try to make a pass in the S's. That is just not going to work. You cannot go double file through there.
Absolutely. I mean, you can, but you're probably going to end up at a wall or something sooner or later. So best to stay put. But I think Wooly's inexperience starting to show through just a little bit right now. Just a little eager right now. But as Wraith is going to dive into turn 11, absolutely masterclass. Going to be coming off of turn 11 there. It's going to allow Wade to get back, and Wooly gonna try to take 3rd place away from Wraith. As Exiv is starting to gap the field, about a 1 second gap right now between him and Wade, as Wraith goes a little. I've seen Wraith really hangs it out in some of the corners, and I don't know if he's just pushing that hard or if that's the way he drives, but it seems to be hurting him as Wraith and Wooly, both go off track there.
If they keep doing that, we may need to hear from both sides on that.
I think we will, for sure.
You can tell Wraith is getting a bit impatient. He wants to get away from Wooly. He also wants to get around Wade up here. He's definitely got the faster car, I'd say, out of the top 4. He just can't put it anywhere right now.
Absolutely.
Wooly got a little wide there, so that'll leave a bit of space there for Wraith to work over Wade.
Yep, and as we are talking about the top 4, here comes Hawk, able to capitalize on Willie's mistakes, and is going to try to fight him for 4th place. As we go on board with Wade, it definitely seems like Wraith just has the speed, like has the raw speed, but when he does get into some of these situations, he gets just a little bit impatient. That really does hinder him when it comes to some of these race wins.
Well, regardless of what's happening with him right now, the 88 is all over the 29.
Absolutely, all over the backbone of Exif, like you said, and I'm sure Exif is starting to feel the pressure. And once again, as we see, like the more these guys fight up front, it's just going to allow for everyone to slowly close the gap. Wraith going to be a full 4-wheel slide there coming out of turn 10 going into turn 11, as Wade gonna put the bumper to Exif but not gonna move him.
Here's your 15 to go.
There we go, thank you. But I think one of the biggest stories coming out of tonight will be Dawson not being able to complete the race. Had some engine issues, had to retire about 10-15 laps ago. Very unfortunate for the young man. He was a light year ahead of everyone else, and very surprised to see that he did have issues. Very smooth driver tonight, but that's really going to hurt him when it comes to the Drivers' Championship, as Wade gets to the wall a little bit coming out of turn 6, and Wraith is going to capitalize on it coming out of turn 7. I'm sure Wade is angry at himself right now. He just got a little bit too greedy there with the throttle. As you see, Wooly has started to fall back quite a bit, and Wraith has now put a little bit of gap between himself and Wade, and is now going to try to run down our leader, Exif.
Wraith is so good in these high braking zones, like we've been mentioning tonight. You know, they've been very crucial for guys on fresher tires. But right now, with in these closing laps, it looks like Wraith on the slightly older tires than Exif. He's able to get the job done in 7 and turn 11, those heavy braking areas.
Absolutely, like you said, Joe. It just seemed like Wraith has closed the gap once more to Exif, our leader. And we've seen this before. He closed the gap very quickly to Wooly, but then Wooly messed up in turn 1, and they both went off the track. As we're gonna go on board with Wraith. His team chasing Exif through these S's, very violent actually. It looks very smooth, but when you're on board with these guys, it is nothing close to smooth. He's all over the back bumper of Exif here, coming out of turn 10 right now, going down towards turn 11.
Bumper there.
Yeah, a little bit. As Exif goes extremely wide, here comes Wraith. He's going to try to get the hammer down before Exif, but just not able to get that drive off.
Oh, Wooly went wide in 11.
Yeah, it definitely seems to me, Joe, that whoever, even if you go wide in turn 11, it's quite easy to get the hammer down and the throttle. So, Wraith's going to go a little bit, might get a bit of bumper with Exif there, but let's keep it off each other.
Boy, Wooly and Hawk, they were just beating on each other there, going into the first turn 1A.
Yep, and here comes Hawk. Gonna try coming out of turn 6 here, as Wooly's gonna really squeeze him. Hawk is not happy about that. Wooly catching the tire barrier, and that just might call the caution out. I don't think he has enough damage to call a caution, does he?
Yeah, he's got some significant damage. I'm not sure why he hasn't asked for a safety car.
Yeah, I mean, if he has damage, once again, he should definitely call it out.
Oh no, he is okay. It's just body damage, it looks like.
Okay, okay, it just seems to be some. Oh, and the caution has been called out.
Okay, so then yeah, it must be for
Wooly,
unfortunately.
Yep. And this means another restart is all, as we know, cautions breed cautions, and we are getting to that point where it's almost 10 to go. And I think the question is, can Exiv hold off Wraith? It seems like Wraith, he's absolutely mastered the restarts. Can he really hold off Wraith at this point? If Wraith can get by Exiv, I think it truly is game over at that point. He just has so much more speed, I feel like. And I think the biggest thing for Wraith is to make sure he doesn't beat himself up in this race. He definitely has the speed, just to make sure that he doesn't overcook it in the corners and gets, as we've seen before, he just gets a little bit too antsy.
Restarts, I think, tonight have been pretty close. You know, nobody necessarily breaks away until a couple laps into the run.
Very true.
You know, like we've seen with Wraith. But I think Wraith definitely has the speed to get it done and get around Exiv and take the victory, assuming nothing detrimental happens. But definitely has the speed to get it done. He's just got to be patient and pick out which passing zone would work for him.
Absolutely, as you said, Joe. I think Wraith, very, very skilled driver, has a lot of experience, but sometimes just a little bit of his childish side shows a little bit at times. Just wants to get going all the time, and very understandable for a driver of his caliber, but has to make sure that, you know, he stays patient where he needs to stay patient. As we are looking at the map right now, I believe that is Wooly who's catching up to the pack. No, that is not. That is Fan, who I believe who did pit. Sorry, and he is currently catching up to the pack. As I'm sure will go back to green coming out of turn 11 here, with 11 to go at the line. See, everyone is caught back up coming out of the final turn here, and green flags back out in the air here in Sonoma, as we see Exiv gets quite a good start, and so does Wraith. Oh, Exiv was just a little bit, just a tad bit wide. Oh, and there's a big wreck in the back of the field there. Yeah, a lot of contact. I don't think anyone got spun, but a lot of contact. As we see, Exiv really hangs it out coming out of turn 5. They're going to 6. Jumps the curve, and Wraith right on his bumper right now, going into 7. And Wraith going to try to run that outside line, but we've seen that a lot of people have tried that. It just does not work at all. Going into the S's, and Wraith right on Exiv's bumper.
Wade, I think, is in a pretty good spot here. You know, with these guys, they're going to be racing hard here as we come to 10 to go here at the line. Just, you know, I think Wade's in a good spot.
Yeah, as you see, Wraith going to be able to get to the inside of Exiv there coming out of 11, but I think Exiv's going to get a better drive off once more. And as you said, Joe, yeah, I think Wade's truly in the catbird seat right now. If something happens to his leaders, he's in the perfect position to react to that and be able to get past that and try not to get caught up in that. Wade, all over the back of Wraith there, who did not get a very good drive off coming out of turn 2 and 2A. And to those who have just joined us, we're currently watching the battle for the lead, currently between Exiv, Wraith, and Wade, some of the most dominant cars of tonight. And as you see, Wraith right at the bumper of Exiv. Gotta really be putting the pressure coming out of the S's. And if Exiv makes a mistake, he's right there to catch him.
He's got to try to make it happen down here in turn 11. He's just got to be patient, stay as close as he can to that bumper, and then make his move right here.
I think so too. I don't think he's close enough, but he's gonna try. He's gonna put the bumper to him. Not able to get there, but very close coming out of the exit out of turn 11 there. Great exit for Exit and Wraith. As we see,
Wade might have been the best there, honestly.
I think so. Yeah,
made Wraith a bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna put a little bit of pressure on him coming out of turn 1 there. But it definitely seems like Exiv is doing a very good job defending against Wraith right now. He gets a little bit sideways. I've noticed that a lot of the top guys, they really get sideways, but they're able to get that drive off very well, though. Oh, someone's tire there.
Ooh.
Wraith.
Wow.
Gonna get, a lot of bumping and rubbing between Wraith and Exiv right now as they are once again bumper to bumper going through the S's. And someone we haven't talked much about tonight, as you see Hawk has caught up to Wade at this point. Oh, and Exiv gonna get very wide, gonna get in the grass, and Wraith takes the lead there. I don't know if there might be a little bit of contact between those two, but Wraith quite easily takes the lead, goes a little bit wide. Yeah, but I think he's gonna get a great drive off. Yeah, he gets a great drive off the corner here, and is able to really pull at this point, coming down the front stretch. And is this gonna be it for Wraith? Will he be able to hold off with only 7 to go? I'm sorry, 8 to go at the line.
You know, Exiv's been pretty good through these first couple of turns here. Wraith, you know, he seems like he's struggling a bit with those high braking areas that I keep bringing up. Wraith is just unbeatable in those areas.
Absolutely, he just seems so smooth, so consistent in those areas. I think that's going to really what determines who's able to win this race. But it definitely seems like through these S's, Wraith able to absolutely just put the hammer down, just pull away. As we see, he's already pulled off by a couple car lengths already through just this one set of S's. And with 7 to go at the line, does Exiv have what it takes to catch up? As Exiv's going to really get it wide through that turn there, going to get a lot of grass, going to lose some time there to Wraith.
Here goes Hawk underneath Wade. He chopped him off though.
Ooh, just gets a little bit of wheel spin there coming out of the chicane, or not chicane, sorry, coming out of the hairpin.
Quietly, Jacob, he's reeling in that 4th place driver of Hawk. Haven't talked much about him tonight. He's struggled a bit, but he's in a good spot right now.
Absolutely. Jacob, probably one of our most prolific road course racers, but has definitely shown a little bit of weakness here in Sonoma tonight, but starting to show why he deserves to be known as one of our best road course racers here. As Wraith absolutely gapping Exiv with about a 1.2 second lead.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if Exiv's used up all his stuff. He's all over the place right now.
I think so, yeah. I mean, even Wraith there and that through the S's there looks very, very sideways there, which is very uncharacteristic of Wraith, but I believe, yeah, as the laps do start to wind down, with 6 to go at the line, these guys have started to really push these tires to a breaking point almost.
And we got a yellow flag.
And we do, yeah. This changes up the whole race now. It's anyone's race all of a sudden once again. You never know what can happen at these restarts, and we are getting word from race control that this will be our final yellow flag of the night. With that being said, if there is any more wrecks, there will be no more cautions called unless it's due to some sort of lag issue. So that means all bets are off, I'm assuming, Joe, at this point?
Oh, absolutely. You're going to see probably one of the restarts we've had tonight. You thought coming over the top of the hill in turn 2B was pretty hectic. It's going to get wild over there this time around.
Absolutely, man. At this point, this is it for the drivers. They know that it's either win or lose right here, so I think they're just gonna turn it up at this point, just give everything that they've got. And the question is, can anyone compete against Wraith, especially as you said, Joe, in these high braking corners, especially through the S, where he's just so smooth, and does Exif have enough in his tires to make it through these last couple laps?
Looks like the incident that occurred in the back was between Wooly and Culture.
I see.
I'd be very
definitely
intrigued to
seems
hear
like-
from Wooly after this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely seems like the young man has had his ups and downs in this race. Earlier in the race was very high up, but once again has fallen back due to his own mistake. Earlier in the race, Wooly also, he got into a wall coming out of turn 10 there and spun himself, so I'm sure that he was very angry with himself. I believe we do have 2 cars that who are still catching up right now, so we will pace one more time. And with 5 to go at the line, that confirms that we will not have another caution because the way the caution cutoff works. And I'm sure Wraith breathes a sigh of relief as he gets one less lap of green flag running. To those who have just joined us in the broadcast, we are currently under our last caution of the race. There will be no more cautions due to the caution cutoff mark. Currently we have Ring Wraith in the lead after Exif made a mistake. Exif's currently in second, followed by King Wade, Hawks, and followed by Jacob. Running the top 5. We will be going green flag. We're going back to green this time by. And we'll have 4 to go at the line. All bets are off the table at this point, Joe. So it's going to be a hectic 4 more laps. And I'm sure all these guys are their hearts must be absolutely beating out of their chest right now as we see Jaden's going to cut the turn 7 just a little bit there. But Joe, as a driver...
Fan got turned.
Fan got turned by Wooly there. Maybe a little bit of displeasure there from Wooly. And we're having a little bit of technical difficulties right now.
And we lagged out.
Yes, we did.
That's not good.
It is. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get back in there.
Yeah, real fast. I don't think we can. That is...
I think a bunch of them lagged out. Fans
out. I think everyone lagged out. Yeah, I think everyone actually lagged out. Oh yeah, no, everyone lagged out. Oh my, okay. Well, everyone, we're very sorry. I know we have the most viewers right now, but it seems like everyone has lagged out, so I think this is a first for PPRL. So give us a quick moment. We are going to chat with the race director real fast, so give us a quick moment while we get this figured out. Yeah, I think we're getting word from everyone that the seems like the lobby has lagged out. Everyone in the lobby just crashed, so we will be waiting on standby, please, to make sure that we can get everyone back in the race and decide how we are going to finish this race off. We had 4 laps to go at the line. Currently the lead was Ring Wraith, followed by Exiv, Wade, Hawk, Jacob. I believe Culture, Back in Black, Fan, and Wooly rounded up the leaderboard. And we are gonna try to figure out how to get going once more. So very sorry everyone who's watching the stream right now. We are getting word that the lobby did lag out, and we're trying to figure out right now because this has never actually happened before. And we are getting word that it's going to be a 4-lap shootout, we believe. Not completely sure. So just bear with us for another 2-3 more minutes while we try to figure everything out. Okay, guys, so we are currently waiting on the race officials, all the stewards and everyone to make a final decision. And they are saying the race has been called official.
Over.
Yeah, so Ring Wraith gonna win the race off the rain, apparently. There's some decent rain that hit Sonoma there last minute, so
Yeah, a lot of rain.
rain there. At this point we are gonna do some interviews. I'm sure Exiv and Wade would be disappointed. Okay, yep. We're going to be getting in some of our race officials and all those guys just to...
Wade was P3, right?
Yeah, Wade was P3, I believe. Exiv was P2, and then there's Wraith. Lovely.
Make sure you guys include your audio getting into this.
So, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and...
Include your
So, guys,
audio.
we are going to get a statement from the PPRL, from the owner now, please. So... Go ahead and listen up, please.
Right, yes, this is Fantasy43, the owner of PPRL. The decision was made, we're beyond halfway into the race. There isn't really any a whole delay to occur like that, or disconnect to happen. Ooh. Now everyone was connected. Okay. I think we're back now.
Audio included, make sure.
Yeah, my audio is included.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay. So, the decision was made there at the end. It would have been either a quick shootout, which would have been too much to organize, so the race has been called. We were well beyond halfway. We were right there at the finish anyway. So, race has been called. Finishing order right now is completely unofficial until we get any sort of proof of where people might have been, to make sure that we can get the most accurate finishing order as we can, so then the proper points can be distributed.
Absolutely, yeah. So at this point, we do know our top 3 finishers, or unofficially at least. And obviously it's going to be Ring Wraith in first place. Congratulations, Ring Wraith. It's going to be Exiv in second and King Wade in third. So we're going to go ahead and start off with Wraith. Congratulations, man, on your... I believe this is the first win of the season, no?
Yes, it is my first one of the season.
Yeah, congratulations, man. I know it's been kind of a dry spell for you the past couple weeks and last season or two. And I know you've been waiting for this win. So what does it mean to you?
It definitely is a good bit. I honestly wish we all didn't disconnect and just kind of had to race it out at the end. I know Exif and Wade behind me were basically pushing me to go, and I'm kind of sad Dawson lagged out because I think the way the pits would have worked out, me and him would have came out right together on strategy, so that would have been a good fight. But I'd say all 4 of us were definitely going for the win. I was making little mistakes. Everyone was making little mistakes, but I'll take it.
Yep.
I'll definitely take it.
Absolutely, man. Well, congratulations once again on your very first race win of the season. I know you aren't currently in the playoff bid, but I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the season. As we move forward on to our second place finisher, Exiv. Quite a good points finish, especially for where you are currently on the playoff bubble. So, how do you think that race went for you?
Well, we qualified pretty well today, but once I pit the first time there, I got really caught up in traffic, and at Sonoma, it seems like it's a lot of track position really matters. You get stuck behind slower cars; it's hard to get past them. But
Absolutely.
on the last pit stop there, I wasn't scheduling myself to go in there, but I got lucky. I went down pit road and caution came out, and I was able to get clean air. But it was just too much of a duty to try to hold off race there at the end. But unfortunately, we're gonna get an opportunity to try to strike back again. But I mean, I've never seen this happen before. I'm pretty sure the Forza servers went down or something because I can't get into any other games or anything. So
Absolutely, yeah.
unfortunate, but we didn't do second place was fine. I mean, this is gonna. He's not a threat in the playoffs anyway, so who cares?
Yeah. I know momentum means a lot in this chase format, especially being a very short chase format. What is so what do you think this second place means going into the playoffs, especially not having as many points as you did last year?
Well, when we go into the playoffs, when points reset,
Yeah.
points reset. So
Right.
from there, it's just an even playing field. Like get to restart. From there, it's just all about finishing top 3 every week, and not having any. You can't have a week where you get wrecked near the end of the race because then you're just gonna get out of the playoffs. But I usually don't have a problem with getting wrecked like that, so hopefully I should be able to make it to the championship this year. Hopefully we can get to it and get it. So I think we're looking pretty good going into it. So.
Absolutely. Congratulations once again on your second place finish.
Yep.
And now moving on to third place finisher, King Wade. Congratulations on third place. I know it wasn't what you wanted, but it definitely felt like you didn't have the same pace as compared to some of the other races, road course races. So how do you think overall this race went for you?
It went good. Honestly, I thought that I had pretty good pace. I just never had track position. I always got stuck behind slower cars and everything. So, I mean, we had pretty good pace. I'd say I was a little bit off the race. Maybe me and next to were close to even, but I was a little bit off the race. But we ran well. That's the end.
Just
We'll
lost
at least have a shot at it. But
Right. Yeah.
it happens.
Yep, we all have our ups and downs, and at this point, I'd like to congratulate all of the podium finishers. I'd like to thank, the owner, everyone who watched today, and at this point, I'd like to remind everyone that if you did miss part of the broadcast, everything will be saved on Twitch, and after 2 weeks, everything will be on YouTube, so you can always go check out our pre-race show, our post-race show, which will be done tomorrow morning. We will also have a couple talks throughout the week with different drivers and sit down and all that. So make sure you stay tuned to the Twitch channel and also to the YouTube channel, and make sure you go follow the Instagram and Twitter to make sure that you're caught up to all the latest news and things going on in the league. So at this point, I'd like to sign off, and thank everyone for watching, and I'm sure Joe would like to say a couple words, and we'll end the stream.
Yeah, we'll see you guys all next week, Friday for the Cougar race. I believe we're at Indianapolis, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. I will be in that race, so you should most certainly tune in, now that you've heard my annoying self speak for a couple of hours now. But yeah, we should have a good time, and then Saturday we've got another cup race.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you so much, Joe, for joining me in the booth today. I know a lot of time you like racing in the Cup cars, but thanks so much for joining us. And once again, to all the viewers, thanks so much for watching, and have a great night.